But what's your advice to us about how we should look after new Muslims, or
Okay.
you know?
Like, obviously, because I don't know the intricate details of how life is in the UK, but I can just give some general advice. And suppose, and what I say is, like, suppose I know I only have the capacity to take care of one or maybe two shahadas a month, then don't get 15. Get one or two a month and build them up to that level. That's what I suggest, you know. Because a lot of times we really get carried away with the head count, and we want to give numbers and takbeers and everything. And in the end, you know, hardly any of them remain upon Islam. Allahu A'lam. So if you only have the capacity to take care of one shahada, then get that one shahada, build up that one shahada. Then next month he gets a shahada and you get a shahada, and then the month after, and so on and so forth.
So you just like individual mentoring, that you know, you look after them.
Yeah.
I mean, can you give us some examples of from the seerah or from the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam regarding that? I mean, why do that?
I was actually going to give, it's true that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did that, and he would break them into groups, and each one will be in charge of each five and so on. But I actually want to give, let's say, a more recent example, in case someone says, oh, that was the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, those were companions. And this was something that occurred about 1,000 years ago in Mauritania. And it was one man who was physically beaten and kicked out of a village because he was giving da'wah. Instead of giving up, he set up camp by the river in Senegal, one of the rivers there, and he sent a letter back to the village saying, whoever's interested, come. There were 5 young men who were interested, but they were afraid, because the villagers didn't allow that. So they went and sat with him, and then when the 5, he built them up, they went home and each one got 1. Then they came back. And the thing about it, what I like about the story, is that every one of the 5 young men brought 1 young man. And he didn't say, hey, who can get me 10, go get me 15, takbir, and all that stuff. They just got 1 each, then the 5 became 10, the 10 became 20, and so on and so forth. In 4 years, when he goes back to that village that kicked him out, he had 1,200 warriors who were trained in Tawheed and Aqidah and Da'wah and everything. So in 4 years, this phenomenal number, because they focus on the quality and not the quantity. And this story for me really made me think differently about quantity and things like that.